Hi everyone, and welcome to a video that's going to make yours and your cat's life way better. How to give your cat a back massage. Yes, Mr. Pirate, the very famous and very notable and very shoulder catty senior citizen, will help me in making this video, because of course he's the main beneficiary of my cat massaging skills. But before we go on, please remember to squish that subscribe button and pet that bell notification icon so that you can see more of these helpful videos. Oh, and please do hit like and share this video with anyone who you think may benefit from the knowledge of how to give their cat a back massage. So obviously a massage is different from petting. And right now I'm petting Mr. Pirate, and I could give him a massage right here, but I'm going to demonstrate how to do it with him sitting down in front of me, because of course not everybody's cat is a shoulder cat. And also because he's currently sitting on my microphone. So I think moving him is going to make it a little bit easier for you guys to hear what I'm saying. So Mr. Pirate, let us say hello to the audience. Rawr. There you go. Today's video is sponsored by PetSafe self-scooping litter box. If you don't like scooping litter, it works really well. It's an automated litter box that me and the guys have been testing intensively over the past month. These guys love watching the litter box work. It's actually been Claudia's favorite toy over the last couple of weeks. She'll use it and then she'll literally sit there and stare down at it and wait for the rake to come across. And it works as advertised. We pretty much didn't have to scoop anything for a few weeks, which was quite a relief. I don't really mind scooping the litter box, but it works fantastic. It comes with one proprietary kitty litter, which is remarkably odor absorbent. So you just load it up and they pee in there, they poo in there, and you basically don't know about it. And it's kind of cool because it also comes with a disposable base, so that after about a month, it says 2 weeks for 2 cats, but these guys have been using it for like 5 weeks and it's still going strong. You just let it do its thing, let these guys do their thing, and then when time comes to change it, you just replace the entire bottom of the box, put a new cartridge in, put some fresh litter in, and then you're good to go again. So a really nice functional automated litter box that is really good at odor control and really good at limiting the amount of interactions you have with the litter. So highly recommended, and thank you very much PetSafe for sponsoring this video. Now we'll get into the nitty-gritty of how to give a cat a back massage. So like we talked before, we're going to start with the general. So big strokes with a whole palm along the back. Basically just pet him a little bit. And then we're going to make big contact with the whole hand along his lumbar spine. Get a little pet on the back of the head to reassure him that nothing terribly stressful is happening. Hey, little guy. Hey. Yes. So just moving the whole back of the hand along his lumbar spine, just very lightly, massaging all the way down. So remember, we're going from the general to the specific and from light to strong. So again, I'm making kind of this motion with my whole hand right along his back. And we're going to try the other side as well in a little bit. And you see Mr. Pirate kind of knows something is going on, but he's mostly okay with it. And then once his back's warmed up, we're going to get a little bit more specific. See, he's giving me little licks, telling me that he appreciates my work here. So now I am using kind of my fingers and thumb to put a little bit more pressure and work a little bit deeper into the muscles running along his lumbar spine. So cats and dogs have 7 vertebrae that make up the lumbar spine right along here. And we want to eventually get down to working each little segment. Now, you saw how Mr. Pirate's skin twitched when I ran my finger along there. That's called the panniculus reflex, and it's a normal reflex in all quadrupeds that basically compensates for the fact that they have a hard time scratching their back with their palm or with their hand. It's meant to get rid of flies and any burrs and any other bothersome thing that might touch them on the back. So you elicit it with light feathery touches. So if you do a nice firm contact with your cat's back, then they should not have the panniculus reflex triggered. And since it irritates them, and the goal here is to relax the cat, we probably don't want to do that. So now we're going to really get in there just with the fingertips, again, keeping pressure appropriately light for cats, and work on every little one of those 7 segments. Oh, there's a good stretch. Oh, Pirate's really digging this now. So I'm just working into all those little segments, moving the muscles around gently, helping them relax, getting the blood flowing. And you see Pirate is highly appreciative of what's happening here. Now, as I mentioned before, on a younger, zippier cat, there may be a limited amount of time that they really want this to happen, and then they're gonna get overexcited and just run off, and that's okay. You know, we let the cat tell us how long they want their back massage to last. But Mr. Pirate is pretty much into this, and I know that from previous experience that I can do this for quite a long time, and he's just gonna bliss out and enjoy his back rub. So again, now I'm using my fingertips to really get into those thick strips of muscle either side of his spine. I'm making sure I'm not pressing anywhere on the bone. And I can feel those little muscles. Sometimes I can feel little knots in Pirate's back, and I can feel those muscles relaxing now. And I think this is going to make him a lot more comfortable for the rest of the day. We often do this in the morning while I'm getting ready for work to limber up this little man for his day. Oh, that's pretty good, isn't it, sir? And I work my way right down to where his pelvis starts. And then we run out of muscle. And now, just to finish up, I can go back to the general. So again, use my whole palm. Just going to give him a little squishing, a little squelching, a little back massage. And they're going to shed quite, cats will shed quite a bit when you do this. So that's usually I have to brush off all the spare hair after a little back rub. And now we're just going to roll Pirate over his other side. Roar. Just like that. And just so you guys can see my hand, again, whole hand motion, just like that. And he's licking my arm to let me know that this is pretty awesome. Get rid of that spare hair. So whole palm contact, and then fingers, just the fingers and thumb is still a fairly broad configuration. And then when we really get into it, just fingertips and thumb, just like that. And we can really work into those muscles. But again, only once they're warmed up and once our cat is relaxed. And like I mentioned in the intro, this is probably not the right thing for every cat. Certainly some cats will take personal offense at you doing this and either give you a whack with the paw or run off, and that's okay. They're allowed to not want to have a back massage. But for some cats, this is just fantastic, isn't it, Mr. P? Yes, that is definitely the seal of approval. Get right in there. There we go. Let me just give him a few little pats. And honestly, if I leave him here, he'll probably stay here for the next 8 hours until he gets hungry. This gets him pretty relaxed. So with a younger, zippier cat like Claudia, they may not necessarily want to stand still for a back massage, or they might get overexcited and decide to go walkabout. So if you really want to give him a back rub, you kind of have to squish him down and convince him to stay in place. The principles are the same, but it's definitely not quite as peaceful. And Claudia might enjoy it, but she doesn't quite know how to stand still for it. Dee, Claudia, come back. So this is more of a dynamic process. But again, I'm using the same principles. Open palm, kind of broad, light contact at first, and then we can definitely get more specific if she stays here long enough. Now, some cats will raise their butt up in the air like this. A lot of people think that this is like a mating or a sexual behavior. It really isn't. Quadrupeds do a thing called lordosis, which is when they're on heat, they will stand there. A female will stand there with their back arched and her butt up as an indication for a male that they're ready to mate. But Claudia is spayed, like most house cats are going to be. So this behavior isn't actually true lordosis, but certainly it's common in both male and female cats to stick their butt up in the air when it's petted. Some of them even like being spanked a little bit there. Claudia doesn't mind it at all. And while it may use the same pathways, it definitely doesn't have the same neuroendocrine background as a sexual behavior. So don't feel like you're being a pervert with your cat when they stick their butt up in the air. It is not a sexual behavior. It is just a quirk of how they like to be. And not all cats like this. Like Pirate's never stuck his butt up in the air when he's been petted, but I've known many cats who do. So there we go. Claudia's just clued in as to what's happening. And then she's settling in. And just like with Mr. Pirate, now I'm using a slightly broader contact to give her a little back rub. And again, with Claudia, I have to go really slowly because I know if I go too fast, she's going to get overexcited and kind of run off and start doing laps around the room. And you notice her tail is kind of waving around in agitation. Cats do twitch their tail when they're kind of excited. She's pretty excited that something interesting is happening right now, but this is not an aggressive behavior. I'm not really worried that she's going to get annoyed with me, but you do have to kind of learn to read your cat. So what I would suggest is that when you're doing this to your cat, if the tail starts twitching, you might want to stop, kind of reassess the situation, and then kind of go slowly along in increments and just see how much they will tolerate from you. Also, Claudia's way of saying I've had enough is to walk off. Some other cat's way of saying I've had enough might be to bite you. So again, you got to know your cat. So that is how you give a cat a back massage. And as you can see, if you pick the right cat to give a back massage to, he really appreciates it. So I hope you found this useful and informative, and I do encourage you guys to go out and try this with your own senior Katie, taking all due necessary precautions. And me and Mr. Pirate will see you guys another day.